Please welcome back to the stage for this amazing panel you are about to witness for the first and only time in Star Trek history, Ian Spelling.
Time in Star Trek history. Hey guys, how's everybody? Ready for 90 minutes plus of Voyager awesomeness? Yes? Alright, let's keep that energy up. Everybody, let's welcome Jerry Ryan. Thank you, Robin. There he is. Everybody, give him a hand. All right, friends, give the crowd a hand. We are so happy to be here today. We are so happy to still be alive 30 years later, right? So, for each of you, how surreal is it that we are now talking 30-year marker? Jerry, for you, 26, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's crazy. It's very weird.
Roxanne?
Because, you know,
go ahead, I'm sorry.
so...
Jerry, go ahead, I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm so sorry, Roxanne, go.
No, it's crazy. It's very weird.
I'm going to go back to Jerry. Jerry, go ahead.
No, that was it. I was just snarky and saying that we're all 21, so I don't know how that's possible.
Tim?
We were all talking about it. We are all 21. It's been confirmed, hasn't it?
Aged in reverse.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, it does seem like, for me, it does seem like another lifetime. It really does. It seems like from the time we started, and I still remember at the very beginning, I think we took a tour of the sets and everything with the producers and stuff, and I can still remember that. It just seems like a very long time. The years are just, if you will, going by at warp speed. Sorry.
I was going to say that.
Sure.
I don't have anything to say. 30 years. 30? Wow.
I agree. It seems like only yesterday. Actually, I was here yesterday, and it seemed like only yesterday. Well, I was here the day before too. So no, what can I tell you? There are so many fans I've met who were not born when our show premiered, and that's both gratifying and terrifying.
Brandon?
Well, I'm just a piece of set deck.
But you got to have an answer.
No, I mean, it's thanks to, I mean, it's really you guys that have kept this alive, and we wouldn't be here if it weren't for the fans. And I look forward to coming here just to meet people and interact and express gratitude for sticking with us for so long.
And then another question for each of you. 21.3 million people tuned in to Caretaker, which is an amazing number, especially 30 years ago. What do you remember most about the launch of the show? Jerry, this one wouldn't be you. We'll start with you, Roxanne. The launch of the show, was there any international?
I remember the first scene I shot, which was the first scene of the show with you, Mr. Beltran, in the ship. Do you remember that? And that was like the beginning of the whole thing. So we were unaware of all the drama happening behind us, you know what I mean? Because we were on the set and shooting that fabulous opener for Caretaker, right? Yeah. That's what I remember.
Tim?
Yeah, well, Caretaker, I think I remember the first scene that I had with Katie. And we were shooting it on location, I think, for that. And it was just this big, long walk and talk that we had. And I was babbling about something, and it just went on for a really long time. And I just remember that scene because it was the very first time I got a chance to work with her outside of the test scene that we did prior to that, just for her coming onto the bridge. But that was the first shot in Caretaker that I remember that was significant. And it was on location, it wasn't on the sets.
Caretaker was the last good episode on the show.
Started early, aren't you?
It all went downhill. I'm kidding. No, it was...
The ladies are down here going, oh my God, oh my God.
No, Caretaker was great because we all got to know each other and we were starting to get to know each other. We were all dreaming about somebody like Jerry Ryan joining the show. I know I was. And I'll stop there.
I was the last of the 9 cast members to work during the pilot. I did the least work. I had the fewest lines. It was great. And I remember the first day I shot, the producers were kind enough to wrap me early because I was just closing a show at the Mark Taper Forum in downtown LA, so I didn't have to miss a performance. So I was very grateful for that. I didn't understand what the character was supposed to be, but I faked my way through the pilot and then figured it out by episode 3.
Then we got all their phone numbers and never stopped calling them.
Yeah, right. It's actually true.
When the show premiered, I was the one writing the shitty scripts. When the show premiered, I really couldn't appreciate it because we were, I think, writing episode 10 or something at that point. You know, we were just trying to get ahead, knowing that once the show premiered, the train had left the station and we couldn't stop. So yeah.
Now, Bob, you mentioned this point, which I have written down right here. There were fans who were in this room who were not yet born when the show debuted. What's that like, that it continues to find, no pun, next generation of our Star Trek fans all these years later? It's got to be a great feeling for everybody. Do we want to go down the line again? Jerry, do you want to start?
No, I mean, it's amazing. Like Brandon said, none of us would be here if it weren't for you guys. So, you know, thank you for bringing your kids up with Star Trek and your grandkids and starting it all over again. So we appreciate it.
What's remarkable, I said a couple of days ago, I said, you know, NCIS has been on for 20 years, 20 seasons just about. 23. But they don't have this.
Anyone else want to comment? Jump in.
I see so many young people. My daughter, when she was going to UCLA, was crossing the campus and to go to a class and saw somebody wearing a t-shirt with my face on it. And so you just go, that's the next generation, you know, that's coming up and obviously loving the show. And a lot of the people that she works with, she's actually has become a scientist, which is pretty cool. And all of the, isn't that neat? Yeah. And a lot of the people that she works with love this show. You know, it's not just their parents, but they love what this represents. So it's cool to see it move down through generations.
My daughter's 14, but when she was about 5 or 6, she was in Germany with my wife visiting her grandparents, and they were showing Star Trek Voyager. And of course they dub in German, right? So I called over there once, and she got on the phone. She said, "Daddy, you never told me you could speak German."
I was, and it's a true story, I was in south of Spain years ago. I think the show was still, at the time, was still shooting. It was in Alicante, and we were staying in a hotel, and the TV went on the blink. It just stopped working. So we called somebody at the desk, and a guy came out to repair the television. So he's back there fiddling with it, trying to get it going. And I kid you not, when the screen came on, it was me as Tuvix on the bridge. And he looked at the TV, looked back at me, and he looked at the TV and back to me, and took off running down the hallway to tell his friends, the people he was working with. That actually happened. I was, of course, speaking Spanish. I spoken German as well, and a few other languages, but that actually happened. I kid you not.
We bueno. Bob, you got a story?
Yeah, I don't, Jerry touched on this. I became prouder and prouder as I got older that Star Trek is intergenerational in its appeal, that parents sit down with their children, often 3 generations at once, sit in front of the television and watch it together. And as I've grown up and had children of my own and all that, that is more and more meaningful, that the vision, Gene Roddenberry's positive vision of our future in space is something that families share together, and I'm always delighted. I tell young parents, if their kids are not interested in Star Trek yet, to not feed them. Eventually they'll come around. So I didn't mean that.
Tough love. Brandon?
Oh, really, they've said it all, and
Writer was speechless.
I guess I can only relate an anecdote of my own. I was at a convention. It wasn't Vegas, it was somewhere else, but a grown woman walked up to me and said, "Thank you for my childhood." And she became a biologist because Captain Janeway was a scientist. And that's really, he should be acknowledged. And those, I'm sure everybody would agree, that those are the comments that you get that really make it all worthwhile and make us really proud of what we did.
And then Brandon, I'm going to stick with you for a couple of minutes. Writers create characters and actors embody them as told at first. Later, especially in television, the writers start to write for what they see in the actors and what the actors bring and the chemistry between the actors. So I'm going to ask you to go down the line with each one of these folks and tell us what they brought to their respective role.
Or what they did bring.
That's not for me to say.
You don't have to do it, Brandon.
Why do you have
Yes, he
panic?
does. Yes, he does.
I'm so sorry he came now.
Right, man? He's staying with us. Yes. The whole 90 minutes, man.
Listen,
Oh, one person at a time.
The best way to answer that is to say what my favorite episode was for each character, because that as a writer, that's how I knew them really for the most part, and that's the best way as a writer for me to express it. And if you know the episodes, you'll know why I picked them. I'll start with Jerry. Someone to Watch Over Me, I think, was my favorite Sub-Divine episode. If you've seen it, you know what she brought. She brought all the 7 of 9 complexity and all the vulnerability, and somehow communicated both at the same time by some miracle. Roxanne, these are just mine. I liked Extreme Risk. Roxanne brought engineering acumen Klingon, half Klingon angst, but really to me, she was the most dangerous character and the most cutting edge character. And in that episode, she was pushing the limits of her own psyche. Do I have to, can I skip Tim? Tim's the most obvious, Meld. And that's just that is a deep Vulcan dive, man, that we've never, he mind melds with a psychopath. And it was just his performance in that thing, and it was one of the first episodes, and it was an very early on to be throwing that at him. And it's still, I think, the best Tuvix episode. My favorite Robert episode is Scorpion Part 1. And the reason is because he brought the force of his rank to bear as the first officer and challenged the captain. If you remember this episode, right?
That's right. The one where I have boxing gloves and I'm beating up people.
No, that was.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that was not a good one. From a writing perspective, it was not a good one.
It's Jovanovski.
Yeah, I didn't write it. But I'm kidding. I just thought you were at your best when you and Janeway were going at it, and I thought you made that two-parter work, because we had to understand why this was such a fucking terrible idea that Janeway was about to pull off. Pardon my French. We had to understand the danger and the risk. I just thought you brought a tremendous amount to it. And then there's Bob. My favorite is Latent Image. And that is not an episode that's necessarily where he's singing and dancing or doing all that stuff, but it's the one that's about post-trauma as it regards to an artificial life form, and whether we should even be considering things like that, and how with an AI, well, why not just delete it? And what the consequences of that are. You remember that one? Yeah. If you haven't seen Latent Image, I think it's one of the best Voyager episodes, period. Anyway, that's my answer.
Thank you. Sorry to put you on the spot, but it worked. There you go. All right, so of your work since Voyager, let's go down the line. What are you proudest of? If people in this audience are going to say, hey, what else should I watch that you were in?
I mean, the show that I did right after Voyager was a David Kelly show called Boston Public, which I loved, and which is nowhere to be found. You can't get it, and I think it's because it was a music-heavy show and they don't want to pay for the music rights. But I loved that. It was so much fun. And there was a show called Leverage that I did as well. That was really fun. So yeah, those were just really cool experiences in a cool world.
Roxanne?
Didn't you do another Star Trek show too?
I did do another little Star Trek show, but it was the same character, so I feel like I could mention the other characters.
I love your laugh. Well, as far as acting, the only other acting that I did that I was kind of proud of was I had been directing The Closer, and they asked me if I wanted to do a guest star in the next episode while I was editing, and I went, yeah, and it was a really interesting, emotional, kind of really cool role, and it was so great for me to get on the other side of the camera as I was just starting to direct, solely direct at that point. So I was proud of that character and of that episode. I don't even know if you can find it anymore, but that's the only acting thing that I did after that, but you could see me in.
And talk about directing. What are you proudest of your directing work?
Well, that's been a whole other world for me. There's been so much stuff that I have been proud of. Probably working on things like The Deuce and Foundation, and I feel like I've come full circle because recently I've come back into the sci-fi world with Dark Matter, which I did last year, and Foundation, which I did for 3 seasons, and I'm moving on to do Dune. So it's like you just think of all of these sci-fi things that I began with, which is really kind of funny, and I'm enjoying it so much. Yeah.
Tim?
Oh, yeah, I did, as far as acting, I had a role on, I think it was NCIS New Orleans.
The one where you play the musician.
Yeah, I got a chance to play one of the guest roles from an acting standpoint, and I also got a chance to play music on it live. So, with some really cool musicians from New Orleans at the time, because we shot everything there, and we shot the music live. We didn't shoot the playback, so it was really cool to be able to go on and do both of those at the same time. And otherwise, I just worked on a series. It's an indie series that was produced by Curtis Fortier, he's a comedian, and it's called 12-Sided Die. It'll be out in September. It's based on, it's a comedy, romantic comedy, based on people who play role-playing games. It's a group of people, friends that play role-playing games, and it's all of this other hijinks that goes along with them doing that. So, working behind camera on that. So, it'll be out in September. It'll be fun.
Robert?
I was recently in Star Trek Prodigy with Bob and Kate. And did a recurring role on Big Love, HBO series. And about 4 sci-fi movies for the Sci-Fi Channel that weren't too terribly embarrassing. Several independent films, if you ever want to see a really interesting film called Water and Power. Anyway, that's what I've been doing.
It's Bob?
I would say, other than Star Trek, my 28-year association with the Planetary Society is a thing I'm proud of. Star Trek brought me to that. Right now, there's some terrible budget cuts proposed for deep space exploration and space science. And I hope that as soon as this panel's over, you'll run over to the lounge because I'm going to have a Planetary Society panel. I hope you'll join me. And other than that, there's this thing called Starfleet Academy in which an 800-year-old artificial intelligence. So I am now the Yoda of the Star Trek franchise.
And Brandon?
Well, I'm not an actor, but by the way, I didn't mention the reason I picked Latent Image was because you're an exquisite dramatic actor, and so often you were played for humor, and that was a powerful dramatic episode. I think your best one. I just wanted, as a side note, it's not what you're asking me, but I was a fan of Robert and Bob before the show began. I think I mentioned you, but I never mentioned you, Robert, because I was too shy and embarrassed, but I was a huge fan of Night of the Comet. If you haven't seen that, another independent film. I was a ravenous fan of that movie, and you were extremely charming in that movie. And I was a fan of Bob's. He played Eddie Quist, the psychopathic werewolf in The Howling. Did a lot of work with Joe Dante, and I was a big fan of that movie, and it's worth checking out. It's a very different Bob.
There you go. Let's talk about current projects for each of you, what you're up to. And then I want to show what we're going to pretend to call an audition tape for Tim, because I'm hoping Spaceballs 2 will be in your very near future. Can you play that video for me, Aaron? You got to see this. I'm going to show 90 seconds of this. Tim, you were great. I mean, going back to the question of, what's next for each of you, how hopeful are you that you will get to find Chip in a sequel?
It's possible that I'll revive the role in the sequel. I know that Mel Brooks is very excited about bringing back all of the original players he can get from the original film. So hopefully I'll be able to shoot it with him next year sometime. We'll see.
And Tim will be performing with the Roddenberries, so you will get to hear this whole song live and in person.
We'll do it tonight, yes.
Yes, tonight. All right, so after that fun, let's go back down the line. Jerry, what's up for you?
I just finished recording, and I apologize because I don't remember the name of it, but it's the Star Trek Online video game thing, but I don't remember what the new episode or iteration or whatever it is called, but it was cool, and I just did that, and it was some little Borg-centric situation. So that'll be coming out soon.
Don't you have a top secret role in some upcoming TV show?
No.
Roxanne, what are you directing these days? What's
Well,
next?
I mentioned earlier, I've got Dune coming up next, so that's
is
my new adventure.
Just did a voiceover work for the story of Khan, and it's a prequel. It's going to be out in September, and just voiced the character Tuvix as an ensign. And it's basically a story that hovers around an archaeologist who is uncovering, the information and relics of that past to figure out the backstory to Khan and how he became Khan in the first place. So it's a pretty cool piece. Just did the voice for that a couple of weeks ago. So it should be out sometime in September. It's a podcast, fully produced. Sound effects, music, all that good stuff. So it'll be nice.
Robert?
Well, I am writing my first play, which I'm pretty sure is going to be produced by this theater, the Los Angeles Theater Center. I tried to get some actors together to read through it for the producers, and it was like wrangling chickens. So I told the producers, I'm going to read it to you, damn it. And so I read it to them, and as soon as I finish it, we'll get into production pretty soon.
Nice.
It's almost finished.
Apropos of what Brandon said, in Starfleet Academy, there's at least, I would say, they've given me some very dramatic stuff to do, which is gratifying. And but my dream role is if they ever make Gremlins 3, that the female gremlin who's trapped me in the men's room at the end of Gremlins 2 and I have had a family together. And it's sort of a window into understanding that, it's not easy being green, I guess.
And Brandon, what are you working on?
Just literally started very early prep on a movie that I can't talk about yet, but it's a kind of a collision between true crime and horror. And then, of course, Seth and I have been noodling a season 4 for The Orville, but that has yet to actually become official. But it's still very much a alive in our imaginations, and hopefully will happen.
Great. All right, guys, let's bring out our next group. Ready? All right, let's bring out Kate Mulgrew. Stage right now. So fans, take all your photos, and for the next half hour, everybody's going to be together on stage, and you guys on the sides are asking the questions, not me.
Come on, take that picture. Run up. Get him, get him. I'm going to go back.
Have a riot.
Let's make some noise, people. You got the
the whole package. Yeah. We'll talk about that later. All right. Do we have pictures?
Are we all going to stay for a minute?
We're staying for a half hour.
We're all staying for a half hour?
Very confusing.
Great. All right. I'm going to.
Everybody.
Yeah, this is great. Let's talk, guys. Let's talk. All right, here we are.
The first group leaves, and the second group
down.
will be with me.
Johnny.
Wow. Garrett. All right, let's start on the
Just
left.
talking to the audience.
Oh, hi. How are you? I was just talking to Brandon about.
Hey guys, I'm going to ask you a huge favor. We all know we're thrilled to see everybody. We're thankful that they're here. Let's ask questions so we can get in as many as we can. And everybody, one question, please, so that we can get to as many folks as we can.
Great.
Also, most importantly, if there are any kids on either side, we're making time for them. So send them up closer to the front of the line, please.
Oh,
Let's go to the left.
this is for the kids. Let's do it for the kids, people. By the way, I want to say about kids, sorry, I'm going to talk a lot. We were just talking to some people backstage that reminded me of when we were finishing up the series, the fan club that had formed for my character had been raising money for the Pediatric AIDS Foundation. We did a cruise in Marina del Rey that a lot of the cast came to. We raised almost $100,000 just from that event for Pediatric AIDS Foundation. We did it for the kids back then, and I just want to say thanks to all you guys that were part of that. I forgot about that, but it was great.
Go ahead.
Hello. So this question is for Brennan, and the rest of the cast may, if they have input on this topic, then feel free. But, so Brian Fuller on the podcast Inglorious Treksperts described that the two-part story arc in season 4, Year of Hell, was originally planned to be a whole season, the entire season. And the writers were very excited and had a lot of ideas for it, but Rick Berman ultimately turned it down. Did you have any, if you're willing to share, any particular ideas or for episodes or for characters that you were looking forward to writing or doing, exploring?
Well, no, because it never got that far. I knew it was going to be a difficult sell because it would be a highly serialized season, and we weren't doing that for all sorts of good reasons. And in some ways, I'm actually happy that we condensed it into a 2-hour because it's kind of like a sauce that you reduce to its finest essence. And I think I got the best moments from what it would have been a whole year. And your Hell two-parter is certainly one of my favorite episodes of the show.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's go to our right.
Sorry, I'm kind of short. Hi, I just wanted to ask because Voyager is was such a new and I guess interesting idea when it came to Star Trek because you're in an entirely different place. You're not really close to anything that was known. So I just wanted to ask, how did it feel knowing that you got to be a part of something so new on Star Trek? Because it just brought up a whole new array of questions and stuff for the characters to answer.
How did it feel getting lost in the Delta Quadrant? 75,000 light years from home? Stuck with my enemy, the Maquis, who soon became my love. It felt great. Absolutely great. How did it feel for you?
It was great until they gave me the mobile emitter and I had to work hard.
How did it feel for you?
Well, 75,000 light years away from home with Captain Janeway, giving me orders and telling me when to go to the ready room. What to wear.
Those were the outtakes.
Well, it was either that or Baywatch. I was happy to have it.
Well, I'll tell you, I just farted on my wallet. Now I've got gas money. I've seen younger faces on cash. Bob was telling me he left more people than this in bed. Is that true?
Yes.
Thank you. I don't remember anything about the show, but I loved having it in my past and having done it.
What did you like best about it, Johnny?
What did I like best about it?
Yeah, what did you like best about Voyager? The Delta Quadrant.
Delta Quadrant.
Or Star Trek.
You ask that question, you know what I think of immediately?
What?
Episode 125.
What happened again in 125?
It kind of summed up to me a lot of the, it's a wonderful flag, Bob, that we hold up here. And thank you, Bob. It's just amazing to be with everybody here. That's what's amazing. And this gentleman who did a major.
I agree.
job.
The best part of these conventions, and this one in particular, is having this whole cast together. We have not done this in a very, very long time.
It's great.
I just want to touch on what Bob said, which was when he got the mobile emitter, all of us bridge crew people, the captain, Tom Paris, myself, Chakotay, Roxanne, not Roxanne, Tim Ross, Tuvix, we called the bridge hell because it was so difficult to film and monotonous. And I remember when Bob Picardo had the mobile emitter, his first time on the bridge, it was 6 in the morning. I go, "Good morning, Bob." He's like, "Good morning, everyone." And he was so excited. And he's like, "I'm so excited to be here." And I said, "It's gonna be rough." And he's like, "Well, not for me." And he was so happy. And after 7 hours, I go, "What about the bridge now, Bob?" He's like, "I don't like the bridge. I'd rather run back to sick bay, please. Thank you." By the way, Garrett has agreed to coach me on Starfleet Academy because I couldn't remember what I used to do, but you'll see us later. Bob, if you ever get laryngitis, I'm there for you. I'm going to do any voiceover job you have scheduled.
Did you talk about it, Roberto?
Yes, I said that Garrett. Oh God, forgive me. Garrett does such a good impression of me that I literally reviewed some video of Garrett doing me before I went back to work. I didn't mean doing me in a bad way, guys. I'm sorry. I mean doing an impression by the young people here.
This is what I had to live with for 7 years.
Let me do an impression
7.
of me. Sorry.
Remember the children, Bob. Remember the children.
Sorry about that, sorry.
Everybody who wanted to comment?
Yeah.
You want to go?
Jerry, make a comment.
What the question was now.
I got a comment for that. I got a comment. Okay, so you asked, how did it feel doing a different kind of trek, like being so far away? We didn't know it was different. You know what I mean? Like, it was the only trek we knew, at least for me.
Well, Tim knew it was different.
Yeah, I did, but again, it was either that or Baywatch.
Baywatch always the alternative?
It was a gig, man, that was full-time work, so,
I didn't know you were offered What was the part on Big? Were you a lifeguard?
He was offered the Pamela Anderson role.
Tim played the 2x4.
Did you wear a little red Speedo?
yes, the Star Trek logo on it.
Under your bathrobe, and everybody knows it.
Yeah, that's right.
Naked under his
Everybody here was there to witness that on the bridge.
Hey Tim, would you show us your slow motion run for Baywatch that you took?
Thank you for that question. We're going to send the laughter to the left side.
Hi, I was just wondering if I could get any of you a coffee or a water.
Our PA, Terry Metalis from Voyager. And now, big shots, showrunner and everything. Yes.
Hey, I'll just be backstage. If you need anything, just holler.
This is for Kate. My name is Michael Taylor. I was one of the droids on Voyager. Oh wait, did we have droids? No, I meant writers. One of the writers. I just want to say, did you know
On
all
Voyager or Baywatch?
Did we have droids on Baywatch? I don't remember. Maybe, I think actually they think they did. But
How are you?
I am good.
Good.
Very good.
It's good to see you.
Did I just see Terry Metalis? Yes, you did. He offered to get you coffee. I think you missed your window.
Michael, you were one of our best writers. Thank you.
You were indeed. Yes.
Michael Taylor!
Very kind. Well, I didn't want to plug myself. Kate's had a question for you. Of all the captains on Star Trek, did you have a favorite? I just wondered.
You're asking me?
Yeah.
Very tricky question. You want to know something? It's true. Jerry, you've been made a captain. You were made a captain on Picard, right?
Legacy.
Pissed me off a little bit. You know, it's a very territorial business. Every captain thinks they're the best captain. Just ask Bill Shatner.
Were you?
Oh my God, keep it.
Said with love.
Hey, were you threatened by Captain Proton?
I was seduced by
Yes,
Captain
you were.
Oh, I thought it was.
I think all the captains have been great. And each one brought to their captaincy.
A very magnanimous and
Diplomatic.
charitable.
I'll meet you later at the
response.
bar and give you the real
All
deal.
right. Great seeing you guys.
Okay, thank you.
It's Michael. Thank you, buddy.
And we're going to stay on the left.
Stay on the left.
My question is, how did you guys feel about the Tuvix episode from Lower Decks?
Oh, I didn't know.
Worm can open. Let's go.
What happened to Tuvix?
Yeah, let's talk about
Tuvix is dead. There is no Tuvix.
You mean the decision that I had to make?
He died in
I made the right decision. I made the only decision that Janeway could make.
That's right.
What happens on Lower Decks, Tuvix episode?
Tell us what happened on Lower
We
Decks.
don't know.
Oh, what?
So they were rescuing the ship from Voyager, and a whole bunch of phenomenons from Voyager happened, and one of those things was the Tuvix thing. At least that's how I remember it.
Tuvix thing.
I would say we have insufficient data to answer.
Good answer. Yeah. Tuvix was one of our best episodes, and they better not have screwed it up. That's all I have to say.
Brandon, what did you think of the Tuvix episode?
It started as the most ridiculous idea, a silly sitcom idea, and somehow became one of our best episodes and our most dramatic, powerful episode.
And most controversial, too.
The most controversial, no question about it. Somehow it all worked, and that's what science fiction can do so well. Somehow, by the way, the cast is obviously instrumental in making all of this stuff not be silly. Like, they have to commit, and it works in science fiction. That's science fiction at its best, I think. The silliest idea can become so potent.
Brandon, in today's economic landscape in television, do you think that they would have kept Tuvix in order to eliminate one of the actors' salaries?
That would be two of the actors' salaries.
Two.
Yeah.
It's a great question, Bob.
Is it the greatest question I've ever heard? No.
It's not even among the top 100.
Bob's question?
Yes.
Of all the questions I've heard, I think it's in the high 2000s.
You're just insane. All right. Should we take another question?
Yeah, let's go to the right. I think it's safer on the right.
My name is Layla, and I first want to say that 7 of 9 is my favorite character. My question is, if you guys have any of your favorite funny moments from behind the scenes on Voyager.
7 of 9 wore a derma regenerating suit because to heal your skin. And every time I'd see Jerry, I'd go, let's see if it worked. Right, Jerry? Remember?
Now he would be taken up on charges.
That was done. I would never do it today. God forbid. I'm very careful about what I say.
Yeah, it was a. We were pretty inappropriate. Now that I think about it, I used to play grab ass with Garrett all the time. Like we'd snap I started it.
It's not grab ass. It was who could slap the other person's butt really hard when
without
we were
them
trying to
catching
hop.
you and stop. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So
I'm pretty sure I started it. But
Oh no, there was some grab ass in the turbo lift. Before, if there was 3 or 4 of us in the turbo lift, there was a lot of grab ass before the doors opened up.
Tim, that was Robbie that started that.
Robbie started that. That was Ethan.
Yeah.
No, it was Ethan that started that. No, it was Ethan that started that.
You grabbed that.
No, it was Ethan. And everybody else started pitching in.
Now you guys, right now, grabbing ass gets a bad rap.
I gotta ask, Kate, did you grab any ass?
Yes, she did.
I surely did.
She sure did.
Sounds like your ass, Robert.
Grabbed my ass many times.
For a little grab ass that day.
Tim was weird. Tim would only grab my left buttock, and I don't know why. He completely ignored my right buttock.
We can make up for that now.
Okay.
$5.
It was a
If he
logistical.
can do the slow-mo Baywatch run, I'm sure he could grab your other butt.
Do it again, Tim. Do the slow-mo run and grab it.
It was logistics. It was just a question of where we were, the geography and the turbo lift. When you watch us come out of the turbo lift, just keep that in mind next time you see it.
It was a very, very serious work environment.
You know what's funny is that the only person we didn't try to do grab ass with was Belana Torres. We were so afraid of her. So I would tell him, I was like, Robbie, you pat her ass. He's like, no, you do it. I'm not gonna do it. Yeah, we were afraid.
No, Belana was an untouchable. I feel that Belana was an untouchable.
Was I that intimidating? Really?
Shut
mistake, guys. It was only the asses. There was nothing else.
Yeah,
Okay?
just the asses. Just the butts.
I'm afraid to go to the left.
I wonder if Tim wants to recount the story when he had to appear naked on the bridge. If you recall, we had to shoot a dream sequence where Tuvix steps out of the turbo lift naked, and Tim had enhanced his profile with a long black knee sock strapped.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Do you remember this moment, Tim?
I remember it very well.
It was unforgettable.
Yep.
Can't forget it.
Yep, the camera was on all of them. And I was off camera. So I had the makeup, the wardrobe person, Matt. He designed me a little appendage. Not so little.
Let's put it this way, guys. It had a
stuck
sundeck.
out from my shorts. It stuck out from my shorts. And the director wanted them to react, not laughing, but embarrassed.
Oh, this audience is going to think we're this.
Yeah.
These kids whose minds are moving.
When he said,
come to the front of the line.
when he said action, and he didn't know, because sometimes I'd tell the director, sometimes I wouldn't. He didn't know. So when they said action, I was off camera, I opened my robe and swung it around. Yeah, they held for about 3 or 4 seconds.
The only person
They
who
tried to
didn't
look away,
laugh
they
was
started
Ricardo.
chuckling, and then they broke. And it was perfect because they used that take for the reaction. They liked that.
Great intellectual, Tim Russ.
That's right. And what's more fun about that is you got to do another take. Yes,
I
indeed.
found out that his urologist was a Sherpa.
Honey, I'm waiting for you to ask the next national joke. Was the second take harder?
Hanging around Ethan too long.
You're never going to ask us back after this. Tim, if you remember, I'm the only one who did not laugh when you exposed yourself in that way, because being your doctor, I had already seen it.
It's true. I don't even know which side we're on. I'm just going to go to
You
the
were
left.
the same appendage in Baywatch. You have little combats on your Speedo,
Absolutely.
right?
Yes.
Oh, you are something else. Okay, next question for this very erudite group up here.
I have a question for the, sorry, my mouth is so dry from laughing so much. For the ladies of the cast, I know I'm not alone in that you've been such an influence for me in my decisions in my life, joining the military and studying science, so thank you. And you portrayed your characters at a time when women in sci-fi were maybe underwritten, no offense, Brennan, but not represented so well. And I wondered, since Voyager, do you feel that has changed for how women are supported and represented in sci-fi, and how far do you think we have to go?
Well, it's definitely changed for women in sci-fi. I think we all feel that in sci-fi. As far as the real world, I think we still need some more changes. We need some more women to get into these. But I think that this is a beginning, and I've spoken to so many people many times, but especially here today, I've spoken to so many people who went into the field of engineering and science because of this group here, and that. What could be better than hearing that, right? I mean, that's amazing. It's huge.
No, I don't have anything to add. She said it. That was perfect.
And nothing could be more gratifying than to think that we have made a difference to women in STEM.
You guys are actually doing it. We pretended to do it, but you guys are really doing it, and it's incredible.
Keep on. Yes. Keep on.
Yeah.
Thank
Who's
you.
next?
To the right.
Roxanne, I've been coming to this convention for 5 years, and I'm so happy to finally see your face. So we are so grateful for you to be here.
Oh, thank you.
Tim, I'm glad you didn't join Baywatch because you were crucial for me joining the military as a military police officer. So thank you for not taking your Baywatch role.
Thank you very much, and thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service.
And Robert Beltran, 2 years ago on this same stage, I appreciate during the writer's strike you being a rebel and saying, Star Trek, Captain Chakotay, even though you weren't supposed to. You're my hero. The question I have is for the entire cast. Voyager told a story about a diverse crew finding their way home across impossible odds, and in doing so, it inspired countless viewers to navigate their own personal journeys. Looking back now, what is the most profound lesson or truth that each of you took away from your time together on Voyager, and how has it stayed with you in your life since?
Oh my goodness. Well, there you go.
Really want us, each of us to answer that?
I'm not smart enough to answer that.
Well, it just has, it changed my life completely. To be the first female captain was huge. And it now sounds like a cliche, but I don't care. It was a privilege, and it was an honor, and that stays with me always. And it is that way because of you. I've often said this, and I'm going to repeat it again. You are by far the most advanced fan base in the world. The smartest, the most intellectually curious, you know. And so I felt that support, and it was rigorous, but it was great. I loved it. I loved it. Thank you.
Anybody else want to jump in?
Just regarding the fan base, you are the least cynical people I've ever met in my life. And that's really, really lovely.
Yes, indeed. Yes.
Anybody else?
Kate wants me to say something about that.
You better.
No, it's true. The Star Trek fans are terrific, and that sounds so general, but you don't realize that it all starts with you. And it's not just Voyager. I mean, you guys have been around since William Shatner was 12 years old. So it keeps us as actors, you know, we are still alive in your memory, and we love that because that's one of the reasons why we become actors. So I just have to reiterate what Kate said, and it's very, very true.
Just, I'll add one thing to that along the same lines, is that we have all acted before Voyager. So we all had the experience of going onto sound stages, doing our acting thing, seeing it air. But the difference here is we did that, and then we all went to our first conventions. And we realized that we weren't alone, that we weren't just like this voice that was just going out there, but we got this feedback from you guys. And we realized that our show, really, we were this part of it, but you were the universe that we were in. And that changed everything because it made it so much more personal and gave us the reason to want to be good.
I would say one thing, you know, like they mentioned that women inspired women to get into science and STEM and things like that. I've also, which is huge and such an honor, and I've also heard from so many people who are neurodivergent, who are in the queer community or the trans community, who related to Seven personally and felt that she was sort of representing their struggles when she was learning how to be human and how to deal with humanity and social skills and emotions and things like that they didn't feel comfortable with when they were growing up. And that has been so touching to me and so moving and such an honor to help people feel seen and represented. So thank you guys.
Let's go to our left. I see somebody very young there.
Hi, I'm Alistair, and what is your favorite Voyager episode?
You want everybody to answer that question, honey? What?
Yes.
Yup. Oh.
I love this.
Really quick, everybody.
I think Someone to Watch Over Me was my favorite.
Someone to Watch Over Me was my favorite.
Future's End 1 and 2.
I love that
Future's
episode.
End. Yes, Future's End 1 and 2 for me.
Someone to watch over me.
Death Wish.
I Tinker Tenor Doctor Spy because I got to examine the doctor's lower back problem. I'm sorry, the captain's lower back.
What?
Never mind, let me start over. Hi, I'm Bob, and it was Tinker Tenor Doctor Spy because all of the women on the crew were in love with me in my mind.
Mine was episode 78.
What was that episode, John?
Was Cracker Guns from the iPod? Well, no, it's the coach to get me out, and $2 is about, and I was in the way. And I don't want to speak with a red shine. Oh, I'm sorry.
Brandon. Well, rather than answer I'm going to finish the answer that I started earlier I was naming my favorite episode that featured a particular character. And I didn't finish the cast because the rest of the cast came out. So, Harry Kim, Timeless. The obvious choice. Really showed off your chops in a great, great way.
Thank you.
And I know seems like a silly answer, but I really think it captured Tom Paris and ended up being really a popular thing, Captain Proton.
Yeah.
Anyway, all the times, and it was so rare I went to the set, but when I did, and at least a couple hundred times, no one ever grabbed me.
It's because you weren't in the turbo.
Would you like it to happen now?
I just did.
You could have your Baywatch moment right now.
Elix was often a comic relief type character, but my favorite episode for him was Mortal Coil, where he lost, his faith was challenged after a near-death experience. And then Captain Janeway, well, it's down to two. I mean, I wanted to say Counterpoint.
I loved Counterpoint. Did you write Counterpoint?
Well, actually, Michael Taylor did, the guy
Michael, I loved that. The great Mark Harlick was in it. Yes, Counterpoint, sorry.
But I have to go with the fan favorite, Year of Hell, because that was a complete captain story.
Yep.
It was about bringing all of her captainly instincts, all of her maternal instincts, all of her instincts to bear to save her crew, and she went down with the ship.
Yeah.
So I don't have a personal favorite. That's a real tough one to choose.
Yeah. Robbie, what's your favorite?
Well, I think the fans will all agree with me that the best Voyager episode was Threshold.
Did you have babies? Brandon, did you have anything to do with
Taylor
that?
wrote that. I wrote the episode. I
love the episode. I'm not kidding.
What was I thinking is a great question. It wasn't
What were you
bad.
smoking is a better question.
Why wasn't he smoking my
My favorite episode, I have two. Caretaker, because it was the first episode introducing all the characters, and the first time I got to meet these lifelong friends of mine here, so that was definitely a favorite of mine. And then Timeless, obviously the 100th episode, was an amazing episode for me, and it was the one time, you guys remember when Ensign Kim discovers the right formula hits the button and saves everything. The doctor's right there, the director yells cut, Bob Picardo walks up and goes, Garrett, you can act! Season 5 is when I got my compliment from Bob, so anyway.
Guys, on that note, let's let our first group go. So say goodbye and thank you to Jerry Ryan, Roxanne Dawson, take it with you please, Robert Beltran, Tim Russ, yes, and Robert Picardo, Kate, Ethan, Robbie McNeil, and Garrett are staying, as is Brannon. Kate, you can move on down or stay in the middle, wherever you want to go.
Don't you dare. Don't you bloody dare.
I didn't do anything!
Go.
Why are we so spread apart? Robbie, come over here.
Robbie, here's the thing. Can you hear my microphone? Can you hear this? Why does it sound like my microphone?
I can hear it now. You're good.
I want a new microphone.
Are we going to continue taking questions, or are you guys going to...
Well, I was going to sing. I have an interpretive dance I'd like to do.
Go for it, Robbie.
Go for it, Robbie. I want to see it. You did it for me in the turbo lift.
I did. You know, I was thinking, I really do want a new microphone, people. Is it really?
Yes, we hear everything
You're
you're
directly
saying.
on top of it.
I'm going deaf, that's what it is. No, that's not funny. It didn't sound like I could hear myself before.
I'm sorry, what?
Wait, what was I gonna say?
What are you saying? Do you have a point?
No, I have no point
Let's take more
whatsoever.
questions.
7 years, ladies and gentlemen. 7. Let's take some more questions.
Absolutely, let's go to the left.
First of all, I'd like to say, yay, Harry Kim finally got promoted. But on a serious note, like
Wait, hold on one second. How do you feel about that, Kate? He got promoted.
No, it's great. Absolutely splendid.
Like many of the others here, we all follow you on social media, and I wanted to know what passion projects you guys have going on right now and why it means so much to you.
Passion means many things. Are you talking about work, or are you talking about passion?
It's a strong word, no doubt.
It's a word that has many
A
possible
lot of layers to that word.
Kate, why don't you give us a
A lot of complications involving that word. A lot of remorse and regret. You got
A lot of
pleasure and joy.
diabolical twists and turns.
7
involving
years,
that word.
people. 7 years. I will say that I just finished a passion project, Resident Alien. I had an amazing 5 or 6 years on that show, and we just aired our series finale last night. And
Good, congratulations,
thank
love.
you.
That's great.
And we're going to have Alan Tudyk and some of the actors here tomorrow for a Resident Alien panel. So that's been a real passion project because of the stories behind these characters and the message of that show, which is so optimistic, reminds me a lot of Star Trek. And that's been my passion project.
And I just finished a great, what I thought was a great series on Apple TV called Dope Thief with Brian Tyree Henry.
You were phenomenal. You were
Thank
so
you,
good, and that's so good.
I think he may win the Emmy, actually.
He's extraordinary. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really a strong
But
series.
how is it, Brandon, you can probably speak to this better than us. How is it that the ones that you think are, I mean, Peter Craig is unbelievably talented as a writer, right? And he was the showrunner as well, but so smart. Sally Field's oldest son, Peter Craig, wrote Dope Thief. Why is it that some fall under the radar when in the performing of them it feels magnificent? I mean, I just don't understand it. It sort of languishes. It goes from number 2 to number 3, and then it just goes.
About the popularity of the show? Or,
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't.
Too much content.
I don't know. I mean, I was just saying at a different panel last night. Sometimes I look at this audience and I think, you're here because you had a long-term relationship with Voyager. Voyager was 26 episodes a year. Some of you probably keep it on because it's cozy. I mean, that's the kind of relationship you had. A lot of shows now are Tinder relationships. 8 episodes every 2 years? I don't think so. That's not going to be something you necessarily pass on to your kids. And I think that's a loss for TV.
I agree with them. Why are they, excuse me, why are they doing it this way?
I don't know.
Money, it's money. It's got to be money.
It's a new paradigm. And some shows are still doing it, but
Some shows are doing 26 and
well, like
season.
someone mentioned NCIS, that does like 22.
Oh, the procedurals, yes,
But I really, I don't know what's in store for the future of Star Trek, but the TV franchise anyway.
We'll take a shot.
But I hope that eventually they get back to a longer, more sustained. This is. I'm actually. I should be talking because Star Trek Orville, the Orville. It happens every few years, and I think in some ways, it's hard to make big TV shows. Or at least it's complicated. But then again, how did we do 26 episodes?
Exactly.
Like it's like a miracle. How did we write these shows? How did you were in so much of the show? You must have lived in your trailer, basically. I mean,
No, it was very tight. I talked about this earlier. It was a tight ship. Not a lot of laughs, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, there were laughs, of course, because you're hysterical at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. But it was a very, very disciplined set. And that's how we managed.
we shot every episode in 7 days, and occasionally we'd get an 8-day episode, and that would be a big deal. And occasionally we went out. It was a stage-bound show. And the days that we did go on location, it was like herding cats. Like no one knew what to do when we were outside. But it was so intense.
Intense, right. But I think when you have longevity like that, in the course of 7 years, you can deepen the character. You can find nuance in the character in a way that you simply can't do with 8 episodes, right? And the audience is aware of that, and they feel that. So I feel sad about where television is.
I agree.
Right?
Yeah.
Let's go to the right.
Hi, my name's Emmy and I'm 10 years old.
Hi, Emmy.
Your character, Jane, that inspired me to find my job that I wanted. And I just took my first electrical engineering course.
What? Wow. Come up here on the stage right now, young lady. You come up here and take a bow.
I can imagine you did, maybe not.
I am honored to meet you. Look at this. That's what we do. Thank you, sweetheart. You can call me Jane anytime you like.
My question was if I could watch any of the Voyager episodes tonight, which one would show the most Voyager spirit?
Oh, good question.
I'm falling in love with you. This child is wonderful. Would show most of the spirit? Brandon, what do you think? Spirit.
Threshold.
Listen, the first half of that show isn't bad. I would say, I mean, gosh, I have to point to Year of Hell, and the reason is, it is a true ensemble.
Yeah.
Every character has a moment.
Yeah.
It's about the crew fighting through impossible odds that takes the premise of being lost in the Delta Quadrant and surviving to its absolute limit, and they stay together and their family down to the last moment. And that's really what the show was about, was Janeway keeping this family together. And every character has a special moment in that, and it's a 2-part episode, so you would have to commit 2 whole hours. But to me, that's a great Voyager. That captures the spirit of the show. Is there anyone else?
That's a
great pitch, Brandon.
What's your name, my love?
Emmy.
Of course it is. The other one I loved was when Captain Janeway took down the Borg Queen. Not too bad, right?
That's Dark Frontier.
Annie, what do you want to do with your life?
Well, since I found my job that I want to be the electrical engineer, I feel that's what I want to do.
You want to be an electrical engineer and you're how old?
I'm 10.
Emmy, you're 10 years old? I have condiments older than you.
I'm very impressed by you. You're a remarkable girl. And you're going to be an extraordinary electrical engineer. Good for you. Let's give her a hand.
Top that on the left.
Oh, this one's a little one too.
Wow. Okay.
Hi, I'm Amal and I'm 11 years old and I just wanted to know what your least favorite alien race was to work with.
No problem, kid. Species 8472. A green tennis ball on top of a pole.
I thought the phage aliens, those guys were scary.
The Vidians.
The Vidians.
Yeah, they were
creepy.
But the question was who you didn't like working with, right? So you don't like working with the Vidians?
I didn't like working with the Vidians. They creeped me out. All the body
working with
parts.
the Trabe.
The Trabe? You like the Trabe?
Yeah, I like the Trabe.
Okay.
I mean, they weren't bad people. Just misunderstood.
What was your least favorite? What was the aliens that you didn't like?
Who did you not like?
The Borg.
Yeah.
Good choice.
Good choice.
Great question.
Yeah, but they were important, weren't they?
Yeah.
It's not that you found them boring, you found them despicable.
Yeah.
There's a big difference, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you wanted to get them, didn't you? You wanted to kill them, didn't you? Yeah. Good man, dismissed.
To our right. I'm just going to escape from side to side. To our right.
Some of my favorite moments were when the actors got to show off their special skills for a brief moment. Bob singing, in particular, is probably the best example. So I'm wondering if any of you had any special skills that you wish had made it into a CA story.
Oh my God.
Or your
Take it
fellow
easy.
castmates.
I'm telling you, Johnny, do not.
Anything.
Do it.
I was going to say that I was always envious of Garrett because he got to play that clarinet, and I played the saxophone, but they never put it in for me.
Why didn't they? Brandon, why didn't they?
You never said anything.
You know, he makes a good point. Is it the greatest?
I wish you could have played the saxophone, Johnny, because for me, they called me a week before I had to play my first clarinet scene. They said, guess what? You're playing clarinet next week. I said, guess what? I don't play clarinet. And they said, no problem. We got a clarinet teacher coming in. I go, really? How many lessons have you scheduled? 1. I said, oh, that's not good enough. So I ended up having 17 hours worth of instruction. I would have loved to have deferred to you or to Tim Russ.
Clarinet is a tough instrument.
Very difficult.
You've got to sustain the embouchure. You can't change it. You don't have keys and pads. You've got to do your fingers. It's a tough instrument.
I know. But to answer your question, I wanted a B storyline where there was a shipwide talent show where Ensign Kim gets up there and does impersonations of all the crew. Okay? That's what I do. I love impersonations.
Garrett,
and I didn't get the chance. No, I didn't. They gave it to everybody else. Everyone else was impersonating other people. So that's the one thing I miss. Yeah, thank you.
I just said to Brandon, I said, what would be great if he wrote a book about the rejected ideas? That would be very interesting.
Anyway. Well, clearly, given Threshold, there were no rejected ideas. We needed it. We left nothing on the table.
What on earth possessed
Brandon, I thought Threshold, I agree with you. 80-90% of that episode was really good. It just went off the rails at the end.
Honest answer.
What do you think?
For those who don't know, at the end of the episode, Tom and Janeway de-evolve into salamanders and have little salamander babies. And it sounds bad. That sounds bad. I don't even want to say it looked good on paper because it did.
One of the fans has them in the basket and they've grown up. Oh, they're so frightening.
There you are. There's our children. I don't want them. Keep them. Keep them. They're expensive. I don't want them. No.
Okay.
To the left. Yeah, my question's for Garrett. I learned from the documentary that you were quite the partier and bad boy and got dressing down from Jerry Taylor. I'm wondering if you had other stories like that where you were irresponsible or just partied so much and got the ire of the crew or producers.
Oh my God!
Yeah, tell us all of your partying, getting in trouble stories.
Yeah, Garrett, tell us a
Tell
few
us, Garrett,
stories.
tell us.
Guy in the air.
No comment. No comment. No. I was young. I had fun. That's it. That's end of story.
Was it fun?
It was.
I'm moving to the right. And you're welcome, Garrett.
I'm moving to the right.
Hello. I just want to say, Brandon, you are my favorite Star Trek writer of all time. My favorite episodes are Endgame and Human Error, and I feel like you just completely, you made Voyager such an amazing show and gave the cast such great scripts, and I just thank you for that. Voyager's my home. My question for all of you is, if you could be on the holodeck and choose any time in history to be on it, what era in history would it be?
Well, my dream came true. I had Leonardo da Vinci.
Yeah.
I asked for that, Brandon. Do you remember?
I do.
And you guys delivered, and that was great, with the great John Rhys Davies. By the way, the New York Times called me to ask me for some remarks on his obit. I said, he's dead? I just saw him 2 weeks ago. No, we do this many years in advance. Did you know that? That's true. Wow. Hi, guys. How's it going?
Kate's band is here. Yeah, I can't wait to hear you sing, Kate. It's going to be so fun.
So I got to work with that great actor in the role of Leonardo da Vinci, and it was great fun.
I would love to, in the holodeck, see around the American Revolution, a holodeck around that time, because the ideas, the Age of Enlightenment, the ideas that were being talked about and debated and unpacked, I think would be very Star Trek-y, and I would love to see that.
I was going to say the exact same thing. That's why we're buddies. We're thinking on the same page.
Aww.
Yes. Delta Flyers, we roll. Okay, thank you.
If the band is here, why?
The band's here means it's just about time. And we have to wrap the panel.
By the way, I do want to say
Brandon?
to the young lady who just gave me, you just made the past 30 years of my life worthwhile. Thank you.
And I would just like to say that you all have made the past 30 years for me absolutely wonderful. Thank you so